Hi everybody. Hello and thanks for coming in. Thank you. Today is Friday, and even though I'm still in my little slump, I decided I'm going to do a flip through Friday because I've been told by others that it is a thing to do. But before I do that, I want to first show you. I just love my Christmas cards. And this one here, I got this from Shannon Crow. She sent me a Christmas card and also a little ATC. And so, and she put a lot of little, the envelope she's decorated so beautifully and with all kind of pretty things on the envelope, which that's beautiful. And then this little ATC card that is uh, cheerful and happy says, and there's old Santa right there. That's Santa. And then she sent me the card that says Christmas wishes, and it's got my beautiful um, Mr. and Mrs. Cardinal. I just love the Cardinals. And we wish you a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year. And look at there, she put a lot. Um, she got beautiful handwriting. A lot of Bible verses that she wrote, that she copied onto that. Which thank you so much. And then I have this one. This one came from Barbara Burks in Washington. And look at there, that's her artwork on there, watercoloring. And isn't that beautiful? I love this. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Now, this one comes from, she writes on there, to Lucy, Papa, and family, wishing you all a peaceful, joyful Christmas. All good wishes for 2026. I love watching your videos. Enjoy your humor. You are very talented, artistic woman. God's blessings. Kaya Kaha, which means stay strong, and that's from Suzanne. And it comes from New Zealand. And look at the birds on this one. Is that beautiful? That is just beautiful. And that is a lot of birds. And she sends that all the way from New Zealand. So I have New Zealand stamps. And you know what, Suzanne, I'd send you a card, but you didn't put your return address on there. And so just consider yourself, just know that I thank you. Now, here is another card. This one comes from, oh, Brunilda. This one came from Brunilda, and with the snowman and the reindeer. And when you see that reindeer, you know that snowman's big. Warm wishes for a happy holiday, sending lots of joy this holiday season. Love you dearly, Brunilda. I love that name, Brunilda. That's pretty. That's one of the old fashioned names that doesn't get used to a whole lot. And then I got this one from Sheila. I just, I love it. All my Christmas cards. Season's greetings. And this one here, may your Christmas be filled with happiness, and may your new year bring everything that means most to you. And that one is from Sheila. Season's greetings. And the beautiful ornaments on that one. And this one, I haven't even opened this one yet. This one comes from Barbara Batzer. Barbara Batzer is one that she has sent me a lot of beautiful cards. And so, look at these stamps. They were never even postmarked. I wonder if that means I can use them over again. Anybody ever done that before? And so, and this is the last one for today. Oh, goodness me. Oh, goodness me. Look at this. That's a whole envelope full of Christmas. And so, look at there. Have a magical Christmas. And look at the unicorn. That's beautiful. Happy mail to say hi. Love, Barbara Batzer in Texas. And she says, call me. And she gives me her phone number. I need to call her. I will do that. Okay. And then here, oh, she sent me a joker. Some of you know that I've got a joker um, album, a joker journal that I've been making, and then so I have collected a lot of jokers for that. And here is a little tag made out of a playing card. It says hello on there. That is wonderful. You can make a tag out of just anything. And oh, there's the girl off of, oh, she's in the Muppets, I think. Yeah, look at that. I look, see what she used for a ribbon is a piece of torn fabric. I love that look. And here is a clear, oh, this is awesome. It's clear. I could put this, anything behind that, and put that on a page. And then here is, she made a card out of a wrapper of a Russell Stover candy. And it looks to me like she used cellophane tape to laminate it. That is cool. That is really cool. Sometimes those wrappers on the candies, they're just too beautiful to throw away. And I think this would be a cow. See, I gotta look at that for a while and figure out what I'm gonna do with it. This comes from the Muppets as well. And this, see, I just got started on another paper journal, which I haven't worked with paper for a while, but I've been working with paper, and I've made some stars and things out of paper, almost like an origami thing. And yeah, and so I'm more into paper. But today, the reason I'm here is for my little thing, my little Flip Through Friday. Now, this here book, any of you that work with scrap fabrics may understand this completely, because this is a book of wisdom, or maybe it's the book of life. It's either a book of wisdom or a book of life. I think I'm going to call it wisdom, because I've been looking at a lot of things about the elderly and how the elderly does have a massive amount of wisdom, because just due to the fact that the elderly have had their ups and their downs all their life. They, just because somebody looks old doesn't mean they've been old their whole life. It means that they've been through a lot to get to be old age. You just don't magically switch from infant child to old age. And so this here is a book of wisdom or a book of life. I think I'm going to call it a book of wisdom. But as you can see, this is the cover. It's a lot of scraps of fabrics that's just put all together and stitched. And this is the front and back cover. And then each page in this book of wisdom, you'll turn the page, and there are scraps, just scraps of, let me see, can I pull that in a little tighter? Let me see. I'm not sure if I can. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. So here is one page, and you can see how scrappy it is. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of threads on here. This green on here was just a long strand of something, just scrap. I stitched it on there, kind of couched it in places, and there it went. I blanket stitched all the way around this one, and then I took this here yarn. It was a scrappy yarn, and I just pulled it through there. And then there's a little yo-yo there, and then that little satin flower. Just scraps. When you think about your life, a lot of pieces. There's a lot of pieces. And I've taken pieces and I've put them just together. Now there's a little piece of fabric right there. Just a little piece. And I put it together. And so far, that's what I've got for pieces. And then I look over on the next two pages, and you can see these are all pieces. Now these are wool. A lot in here is wool because I work with a lot of wool felt or um, wool fabrics. I just love working with wool. I love the feel of the needle going through the wool, pulling the thread. It's just a feeling. It's amazing. And and an occasional gray hair. That's part of the wisdom. And just all put together. The little pieces put together. When we think about our past, there's little pieces when you especially after you retire and you sit back and you just think. Now people who are retired, they do a lot of reminiscing because you really don't have time to reminisce when you're raising your children and you're working and you're keeping a house and being a wife, being a mother, planting a garden, feeding the dog, all of that stuff. You don't really have a lot of time to just reminisce. Once you're up in your ages, then you have time to reminisce. You take those pieces and that those pieces that you just live over in your life that you have been through, things that the good Lord has brought you through, and you might have thought, what is the even worth to stay till tomorrow? But you did. You stayed another day, and that day worked into a month, and the month worked into a year, and it's a good thing you stayed another day. I mean, there's days like that, and most of you probably can identify with that. And again, here, there's pieces, just pieces. Just another piece of gray hair, a little organza flowers. There's a little satin ribbon. There's a little bit of I call it embroidery, but it most people probably wouldn't call it embroidery because it's just stitches that I put in there. There's a butterfly. Then you go back to the next page and look at the pieces. It's just pieces. Just what I can remember in life are just little pieces here and there and everywhere. And then pick up them pieces and just stitch them all together. And there's what you have. Look at the pieces on here. There's a bunch of pieces. And every one of these pieces, even though I might not have a story behind them, there may be a story behind it because they're scraps. Somebody else might have made something out of this. And this was a little scrap left over, just pieces. And so every one of these pieces most likely does have a history. There, I put a unicorn there, and then this blue all the way around it. That's just a whole bunch of French knots. And then I got it stitched together with just stitches that don't mean anything. They're just stitches. And I can look at that, and it's beautiful. Then here, oh, then sparkles. Here, you know, there's not too much sparkly in the first few pages. But now here I am to here, and look, I've got some beads on there that just sparkle. I've got the pieces. Now the pieces here are making more sense because there's a sky and there's water and there's the ground and there's the grass. And then there's the beads here that put a little sparkle in there and the little beads on the tree. And then the sun is shining. There's a boat floating in the water. And so now we put those pieces together and almost tells a story. And I do have stories about the boats in the water. My husband and I at one time owned a little shrimp boat. It wasn't worth what we paid for it. We only paid $500 for it, and it wasn't worth even $5. But we still sold it for $500. We got our money back after we were out in the middle of the Gulf and it lost power. But that's a whole nother story. But um, what was that word I just said about? Oh, we're recalling events. What the heck? I just forgot the word now. But then look at there. Here's some scraps here. Just little pieces. Put them together, and there's a little owl. There's a little owl with those pieces. Reminisce. That's the word. We reminisce and we think about stuff. And then we turn here. And this here piece of fabric that's on this page is a piece of an old quilt. And this was right there in that spot. It's a naturally worn spot in that quilt. And so I use that for a page. And then this is a tree. Take my word for it, it's a tree. And there's some sparkle in there. Little sparkles are, see how the sparkles just come? That's the memories. That's the memories. We come up with these when we reminisce. And so the tree, and then little scraps, just little pieces. Just put them pieces together. And then here on this last page, look at that right down there. You see how those is real diamonds. Now some of you might say they're not real. They must just, what do they call that? Costume jewelry? Well, they're real to me because look at how sparkly they are. And so, and just little pieces of fabric. Oh, so many different little pieces of fabric. And they're just all stitched on there with just haphazard, just little stitches. And then we get to the back. You can see all the stitches. But this is my book of wisdom. This is a book of wisdom. I am the author. Now, see, you got to remember too, when you make a little journal of any kind, you're the author. And so you put you in there. This is so much like an autobiography. Autobiography. Anybody can write a biography about you. But if you write your own biography, then it is referred to as an autobiography. So this is my autobiography that I'm calling a book of wisdom. This book is me telling you about the hardships I've been through and the beauty I've been through. And now some people might think they've been through only hardships. And they might have had a lot of hardships, and for some goofy reason, we think about the hardships sometimes a little bit more than the blessings. But even all of the hardships I've been through has turned into blessings in the long run because I stayed another day. And some people might say their whole life has been perfect, and maybe it was. Maybe you never did fall down the stairs. Maybe you never did stub your toe. Maybe you never did any of those things. But I'm telling you, you make you a little, then this here is only about 5 by 6 inches. It's just a small book. It's got 12 pages if you count all. So I could do 1 page a month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, a whole year you could put in there. But see the end of the book, all the sparkles? Now, you know what? I didn't do that intentionally. But when I started looking through this book, way after I made it, it's just that's how it turned out. A lot of my pages were pretty much plain. Yeah, I planted flowers in my day. A lot of flowers I planted. I've never seen a real unicorn, but I've seen pretend. But then things started toward the end of my book. Then see how things started really falling together and sparkling? They're sparkling. And that is what I want you to know right there. Okay, now I have been busy. Let's see, what time is it? How long have I been on here? 18 minutes. I just wanted to show you this sheep. I made this sheep this morning. Is this not the cutest little sheep? It's just a little doily, and then I stuffed it. So it made a fat sheep. And just out of black felt, I cut his legs and his little head, and I put that there. And I work on a couple other things too, but that's about right where I'm at right now. Now, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to read to you because I always read, and I haven't read to you in a few days. So I'm going to take my Jesus Calling. I'm going to go December. Is it the 19th? December 19th today. December the 19th, say the 18th, 19th. It's December the 19th, which is before the 20th. There you go. December the 19th. Leave outcomes up to me. Now, like I say to you all, this is called the Jesus Calling book. He calls and just leaves a message. And I don't hardly ever answer the phone, so he leaves a message. Says, "Leave outcomes up to me. Follow me wherever I lead, without worrying about how it will turn out. Think of your life as an adventure, with me as your guide and companion. Live in the now, concentrating on staying in step with me. When our paths lead to a cliff, be willing to climb it with my help. When we come to a resting place, take time to be refreshed in my presence. Enjoy the rhythm of life close by me. You already know the ultimate destination of your journey, your entrance into heaven. So keep your focus on the path just before you, leaving the outcomes to me." And so my book here, my book, I'm the author of this here book, of my book of life, my book of my journey through life. Maybe that's what I should call it. My journey through life. And it doesn't mean that the scraps have to come from something like my life. They're just pieces. You pick up the pieces, you stitch them together, and there's my Flip Through Friday book. And I do love this book very, very much. And my journey, my wisdom journey. Well, I don't know what to call it. Tell me in the comments below what you think I should call this book, because journey could be in it, wisdom, a book of life. Yeah, something. Okay. God bless you all. Thank you so much for stopping by for this few minutes. And thank you, everybody who has sent me a Christmas card. They are very, very enlightening. They're very, very, very much loved. And I'm putting them up on the side of my cupboard over there. And so it's all beautiful. And so with that, I'm going to say good night and God bless you. And stay one more day. One more day. Always stay one more day. Okay. God bless and keep you. Amen.